Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing today? It's Tuesday. It's Tuesday, isn't it? How's everyone doing? Ooh, it's been a while. It has been a while since we've done an unboxing on the channel. I'm looking forward to this. It's gonna be fun. We got a resin printer. I haven't done any resin in a while, and there's a few things there's a few projects I want to do with resin. And I have resin printers. I think I have an older Saturn or Mars or something. I've had a few resin printers over the year. I don't really do a lot of resin printing. The problem with resin is a lot of time it just gets kind of annoying. But this machine, I think, has a few things that'll make me like resin again, but we'll see how it goes. Resin's not my normal thing. I'm an FDM man. I like my plastics to be in filament form, not liquid. But Elegoo reached out and they're like, hey, we got a new resin printer. Do you want to try it? And I'm like, hey, yeah. So they sent me the printer. Do I have unexpired? Does resin expire? I mean, I have resin from, I don't know, a year or two ago. It's still in the container. They sent some with it. So I do have like fresh resin. They also sent a whatchamacallit kit. A wash and cure station. But yeah, we'll get to it when we get to it. Other than minis, I can't think. You know what I used resin for previously? And I wish I had a resin printer set up, because none of my resin printers are set up right now. Stuff like this. When you're working on like cosplay stuff, right? And like, you need to print like little itty bitty details. Yeah, you can do them in FDM, but it's kind of a pain in the butt because they require more post-processing to make them look good. For example, I want to reprint the light on here. Well, it's kind of hard to do. You can do clear plastic with like clear PETGs and whatnot. But resin it's resin. Resin, it just comes out better. I don't care what anyone says. You can't print as good detail-wise on FDM as you can with resin. It's just resin has downsides. One of them is it being a mess. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Needs to be well shaken. Well, yeah, you just shake it up. That's fine. I don't know. I have resin in here that's been like sitting on a shelf in my garage through all the temperature changes for like a year. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, we are doing so again, full disclosure. This is technically a sponsored stream, but not. I'm not being paid for this stream. My words and opinions are my own. Obviously, Elegoo's not seeing anything before it goes live because this is a live stream. But Elegoo was nice enough to send over this printer free of charge on the condition that I do some testing and evaluation of it. So we will do an unboxing video. We might do a follow-up stream with it, and there may be a video in the future. But again, nothing's being paid for. The only transaction is they have sent me the printer and the wash and cure station. Full disclosure. I'm not under any contract or anything. The only thing I signed was an NDA saying I couldn't talk about it before it went public, which the NDA was a couple days ago because everyone put their videos at the same time, and I haven't taken mine out of the box yet because I live in Canada and I don't get anything till it's like the day before the NDA drops, so there's no point in trying to rush. Don't make toys out of resin. Yeah, don't make toys out of resin. For you that partake of the wacky tobacco, don't make grinders out of resin. Don't do that. We already got enough microplastics in all our balls. We don't need any more. It did get a little dinged up in shipping. We'll see how it goes. But I think we'll get right into it. Before we get started, as always, every stream we give away a spool of filament from POLYMAKER. So if you want to enter for your chance to win a spool of filament from POLYMAKER, link in the video description, enter for your chance to win. While you're down there, if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, a Patreon supporter, or if you're really cool, gift memberships to others. That's the best way to help support the channel because it allows people who are not channel members to hang out when we do members only stuff. You get videos early, and yeah, it's helped the community out. So if you see some, well, unfortunately, I don't think you can. I still think on YouTube you can't directly give somebody a membership, but you'll help out one of the gray names. You know what? I see how I can't remember who shipped this. You know who I'm not happy with? DHL. I was supposed to have multiple packages delivered today from the same person, like from the same entity, and I got one. and the rest is waiting on update for tracking information. The one package that showed up is a nozzle. I need a little bit more than a nozzle to do anything. So yeah. So if you are interested in getting this printer, if you want more information, let's pull up the deet sheet with all the information. Saturn 16K Ultra. I do have a link in the video description. It is not an affiliate link. It is just a generic link to the product page. I don't like doing affiliate links for things I haven't tested yet, at least. No, I don't want to sign. Everything asks to sign in with Google. I don't need to sign in with Google. F off. But yeah, this is the Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. These names are getting confusing, but at least they're not as confusing as like computer monitor. No, block. Jesus, all the pop-ups. Okay. So right now it's on for $4.99 USD. One of the things I really like, this is the first resin printer that I have that has one of these, is this. The problem with resin is I don't use it a lot. Okay, oh geez, another pop-up. Go away. I don't use resin a lot. I use resin like I use my cocoa press, okay? Only I eat the stuff that comes out of the cocoa press. Resin, I'll go through like a period where I'll use the machine a ton and then I won't use it for a bit. So the problem is I had resin machines out here in the garage. The problem is I have them on this wall. Well, I put shelves above this wall, so I couldn't keep the resin printers there because most resin printers, you have to like take the whole lid off to get at them, and it's annoying. So it limits like what you could put over it. So I kind of ended up stashing them. But this one, the lid just tilts up, so that's nice. Also, heated bed, or the heated vat, I guess, is the resin equivalent. So it's got a heated vat, which will be good if you have it in like a cold place. It's got auto bed leveling, which is great. It's got an AI camera. Okay, okay, we'll see how that goes. And it does the tilty thing, so it can print faster, so you don't have to like always rip it up. It does the little tilty thing. And as far as I'm aware, the only other real machine that used it at the consumer level before this was the Prusa resin machine. I believe it was common with commercial resin machines, but not really hobby level. But again, resin is not my forte. I am not a big resin printer person, but we'll see what we get. The Moai had the thing with the Poly. Okay. Or Poly. Also, I don't know what's going on today. For those unaware, I am Canadian. Hi, but near me is a U.S. National Guard base. They are flying Ospreys, V2 Ospreys, like overhead all morning. I don't know what's going on, but they're like flying Ospreys around. So if you hear a really loud helicopter, because it sounds like a helicopter just really loud, it's an Osprey. And then I'll probably go run outside to look at it again because they're cool. I've never actually seen one fly over my head. So I don't think they're doing that with it because, let's be honest, you would want people to live, and Ospreys kind of, their safety record isn't as bad as people make it out to be, but they're still kind of, you don't put randos in them. Are they going in Greenland? No, they're going to the US base. I live in like the southernest area of Canada, so like it's actually common for, I live in the flight path of a US National Guard base, although normally it's like Hercs and cargo planes and like A-10s, because I think they fly A-10s out of there. And there's also a bunch of whatchamacallits, Coast Guard around the air, so they fly the Dolphins around. Probably just training. Honestly, that's probably what it is. It's probably just training, because they're probably flying from an Ohio base. It would make sense because the flight path, as far as I'm aware, there is a flight, like if there's an Air National Guard base in Ohio, and then there's one in Michigan here, and if they travel between the two, they fly right over my house. So that's probably what's going on. But they're cool. Ospreys are cool. I've flown in a Canuck. I've had the pleasure of flying in a Canuck. I've flown in a Griffin, which is a Canadian Forces Huey, essentially an upgraded Huey. I've been in a C-130 Hercules. That's about it when it comes to military planes. Flying in a Canuck was cool, because we weren't told we were flying a Canuck. We were told to meet in a field during an exercise, and it was like, hey, we're gonna send a bus to take you home back to the fob, so you don't have to walk back. And we're like, yay! And then we're like, wait a minute, we're in a field. Where is the bus? How's the bus going to get here? And then a Chinook landed. That was really cool. Have I jumped out of it? Funnily enough, no. I was actually offered a parachuter course, or a jump course, though. The last year I was in the Army, I kind of had made it known that I was leaving. And one of the things they like to do is to try and get people who are somewhat, you know, actually competent to not leave. Is like, hey, you want to do a really cool course if you stick around? And they're like, you want to do a jump course? And I'm like, no. I mean, I personally would love to do the jump part, but I don't want to do the whole course. I had just gotten a full-time job. I was getting serious with the girlfriend at the time, who is now the wife. And I didn't want to go away for like 6 weeks to go do a training course when I was on my way out of the Army. Plus, you know, it's very easy to break your ankles, and I don't like breaking my ankles. Looking back, I'm kind of happy I didn't take it. Yeah, tuck and roll. Okay, so let's get this out of here. Throwing all the foam everywhere. It's got a good weight to it. It's got a good weight to it. It is big. It is big. Try not to scratch it. So it looks like we didn't get any damage, so that's good. Disclosure, Elegoo's like, hey, please don't do this on stream. Do it like off stream, and then because there might be software updates. And I'm like, okay. So here we are unboxing it on stream. That's how we do it on here. We do it live. We do it live. That's the shtick with the channel. Whatever we do on the channel, we do it live. How does the printer go up and down again? With a motor. It goes brr, and then the printer goes up, and then it goes brr, and then the printer goes down. And hooray for it being garbage day tomorrow. Okay, so we got, can we do the peel? Ooh, and it's got an actual like friction hinge. Oh, that's nice to see. Okay. Oh, okay, we got something in here. Ooh, a toolkit. That sounded ominous. What sounded? I was a 63M Bradley mechanic. I couldn't see jumping out of a C-130 with a toolbox. It sounded painful. I had a friend who did the course. Like when I was in, I had friends who did the course. And none of them got hurt, but somebody on one of their courses like completely shattered their leg. And the problem with like those kind of leg injuries are the kind of injury that like kind of screw you up for the rest of your life. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not gonna risk that. I'd rather not risk it. It's, ooh, what's this? Please read the user manual carefully before using this product. While using this product, take precautions to prevent pressure on the LCD screen or resin infiltration. Any damage resulting from mishandling of the screen will not be covered under warranty. So this is something you're probably going to have to spend more attention to on this printer versus like a more traditional resin printer, is the fact that since the bed tilts, that means there needs to be clearance for the movement, which means if you goof and spill resin all over this, it's getting into the machine, which probably isn't a good thing, I'm assuming. So that's something you may want to keep in mind. Oh, this looks cool. Attention, please press firmly on the build plate when tightening the screws. Please remove the protective film before printing. Ooh. Look, chat. You can see yourself. Can you see yourself? Can you see yourself there? Wave hi, chat. You can see yourself. Everyone wave hi. Lubricates the motor. Well, except for the fact that the LEDs are in there too. So you probably wouldn't want to get resin on the exposed LEDs. Probably not good. Okay, so what do we got in here? So I'm trying not to touch anything because we are going to go through the manual. We've got some gloves. We've got some knobby knobs. I got some knobs here. Got a power supply. That's good. We're going to need that. We got some of these put the resin back in the container thingies. Spatula. It's always good to have a spatula. I don't know what this is. It's just foam. So that's garbage, I'm assuming. We got a squeegee. Free squeegee. We got some masks. And we got a USB drive. Very nice. Very nice. Now, what's in this guy? What's in this box? What's in this box? What is this? What is this? What is this? Oh, we'll find out. It's the bib. It comes with a bib. Spill shield. Oh, wait. Wait. Is this like... Oh! It is a spill shield. So when you're filling it with resin, you don't accidentally spill resin into the gap. Very smart. Very smart. I like to see that. Very smart. Big brain. Okay, let's see. Are they... Oh my God, these are like the most... Okay, let's see how my dainty hands fit in these. Oh, they're not chalked. I mean, they actually fit. Usually, Asian market gloves don't fit, but those fit. Okay. Let's go through the manual, I guess. So we're going into this blind, as always. So we'll see. I don't know what slicer it recommends me to use. I don't know any of that. We're going to go into it blind and see what we get. We do have a camera on the inside here. There is a camera. We do have an AI camera. I don't see any form of filtration though, which honestly isn't a big deal to me. I like that. The fact that it just, that is nice to see. We do have a camera there. I don't know what the AI camera does, but we'll find out. Yeah, I just took the cover off the lens. Okay, let's go through the manual and see what it says. And we'll do what it says and then we'll make something. Use nitrile. I mean, I'm assuming these are nitrile. It's whatever gloves they came with. I mean, I've got nitrile gloves here, so. Okay, so yeah, that is the drip tray. Adapter, backup screws, parameters. So it's got a touch screen on the front, built-in AI camera. Ooh, what's number 5 on the back? Number 5 is extension port, such as a mini heater and other compatible accessories. Ooh, it's got a thingy on the back. Although it's literally just, it's just a hole. It doesn't have anything there. Okay. Does it have a USB port for the Saturn filters? I don't see any USB ports. I don't see any USB ports internally. I'm assuming there's a USB port on the side somewhere. There's a USB port on the side here with a power switch and a DC in. That's about it. Typically include a web UI. Not really, kinda, sorta. It really depends on the machine. The thing with resin, full disclosure, resin is nowhere near as open source as FDM. A lot of resin machines only will work with certain slicers. Slicers have subscriptions and tiers, like paid tiers. It's kind of always been that way. A lot of them run CHOW. Like the boards are CHOW boards or whatever. Like it's kind of it's a much more closed ecosystem and proprietary than FDM. There are some open source projects for resin. The thing is, resin is, it's a lot more niche than FDM. More people will get more out of an FDM machine than a resin machine, so you already have a much lower demand. And then the foundation of the ecosystem is already closed source. So it's kind of one of those things. I've never paid for resin slicing software. I've always used the free version of it, and I've personally never had run into issues or limitations. However, I could easily see where somebody who's more pro at it, somebody who likes, you know, getting on the wrong side of Games Workshop lawyers type amount of resin printing, would want more control and would probably benefit from those additional paid features. On the bright side, usually if you are paying for software, it does come with more support and service, usually. So it's kind of one of those things where it's like, I wish it could be better, but it's kind of like it's always been that way. And so we just kind of have to deal with it, kind of thing. It kind of sucks, I know, and I wish it was fully open, and you know, but nature of the beast, it is what it is. If somebody comes out with a completely free slicer and it's open source and open source printers, that'd be great, but until then, this is what we got. And let's be honest, resin printers, for their value, like cheap resin printers, print really damn good. Like, let's be honest, you get a lot at an entry level with a resin printer. So never had any issue. Yeah, Chitu seems to be the go-to. Okay, so device upon startup. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to go through here and I'm going to do what it tells me to do. So upon startup, the printer conducts a self-check on key hardware components to prevent any printing failures. Please refer to the error prompts on that. Okay, so test printing. Before using, make sure the utilize provided tool to remove the fixed screws on the resin tank. Replace them with the screw knob included with the toolkit. Okay, so let's do this. So first things first. Yes, I know the ground's a bit messy. 1 second here. I'm going to put you here so we get a little bit better view. So first things first, remove these 2 screws and replace them with some knobs. There isn't much difference between resin printers. Yeah, that's kind of what I've noticed, is resin printers kind of, the ROI is very different with them. Like, you can buy a cheap resin printer for very cheap and it'll print pretty much as good as any other resin printer. It's just, you're going to be limited in like features and print volumes, but for the most part, they just kind of work. Yeah, 1 axis and an LCD screen, and then if you're fancy, some like filters and whatnot. I think this one has Wi-Fi. I don't know for sure. We'll find out. I honestly didn't do a lot of research on it. Okay. We have a lot of extra screws here. I don't know what they're for, but okay. Okay, so before using, make sure. Okay. So I'm gonna peel off. Please peel. How do I take this off first? I'm trying to figure out how I can peel off the sticker. Does this come out? Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So peel this. Please peel off before using the printer. Okay. And then on this, please peel off before using the sticker. Put this back in. There we go. Okay. I don't know what all these other screws are for. I got a whole thing of screws here. Okay. Before use it, make sure to utilize. Okay, so should I turn it on first? I mean, it does a bunch of self-check, so I'm sure it doesn't matter. Test printing, so print preparation. You know what, we'll turn it on and see what it does. Because it just, the first thing is device self-check. Well, I know I got to peel off the plate, but the plate actually has instructions for it. So I'm trying to follow the instructions to, I'm just following the instructions for now. So, turn it on. We've got light. Screen's on. Is that offset the only pain in the neck? Well, it said it's got auto leveling, so okay. So we are English. Good to see the British flag. Confirm language. Yes. No Wi-Fi detected. Okay, let me set up the Wi-Fi. You're not going to see my info yet. Okay, this is annoying. Nope. I will say, doing this on a small screen with my thumbs is interesting. No, come on. Come on. Nope. Connecting to Wi-Fi. Wi-Fi connected. Okay. So we are going to call it, I'm just going to call it 3D printer R for resin. There we go. Okay. So it's doing some self-checks. Oh, the motor is moving. Oh, Bearded Printer gifted 5 community memberships. Cheers and appreciate it. Thank you. What was that pop-up? X-axis status. Ooh, it's moving. You see it moving? New version detected. Upgrade the firmware. Yes. Upgrading firmware. There we go. Oliver gifted a community membership. Cheers and appreciate it. Give Wi-Fi. I mean, even if you had the Wi-Fi password for my garage network is isolated. That's the point. My garage network is isolated from the internal network in the house. It's basically its own thing with an internet connection. Remember, if you get gifted a membership, to throw a thank you in chat to whoever it was. Bone 2 or 3 and they're still new in the box. I can't get past the toxic part. Yeah, resin is toxic, right? Resin is not good for you. Yes, there are some less toxic resins out there. I will never call it non-toxic, but there are some less toxic resins out there. But it's just one of those things. Do it in a well-ventilated area, wear gloves, wear glasses, follow proper safety precautions. People work around this stuff all day at work. There are people whose jobs is to work around this stuff all day and they're fine. You just have to take your precautions. You just got to be safe. Don't raw dog it. Don't be that random YouTuber filming the Xiaomi promotional video that literally just like raw dogs raw resin with his hands and walks around his house with it dripping everywhere. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's bad. What was that? Mr. Who's the boss or whatever it was? Yeah. Mr. Who's the how do I get cancer very easily and, you know, get an irritating skin condition boss. Don't drink resin. Correct. Don't drink resin. Don't print cups out of resin that you drink out of. I'm even hesitant of printing like helmets out of resin. I know people do it, and I'm sure once you cure it properly and then you seal it with like a paint or something, it's probably nowhere near as bad. But like even printing helmets out of resin, I'm a little iffy about. For me, I'm probably going to be using this to print stuff to go with other stuff. So it's like Reboot the machine to ensure parameter updates. Okay, so I guess turn it off. 1, 2, 10. How concerned should I be with air filtration in a small home office? I'm not a doctor, I'm not OSHA, I'm not your mom. But you have to be aware a lot of when it comes to what is bad for you has to do with exposure amounts and time, okay? Bananas give off radiation. Bananas, like certain quantities, if you get enough bananas, they will trip radiation sensors. Bananas are like the most radioactive food there is, okay? Potassium gives off radiation. But you have to eat a lot of bananas to get radiation poisoning, right? It's like an X-ray. Right? Getting one chest X-ray does nothing. If you get 500 chest X-rays in a row, your cancer risk might go up 0.3%. Like, it's all percentages and exposure, and it's like, you're probably fine, but worst case, it might double your cancer risk. But like, doubling your cancer risk, wow, it went from 0.5 to 1%. Is that accept? Like, it's one of those things you got to look at the whole thing and do your judgment. But I will say, the smell is bad, and some people just can't get over the smell. So you don't want to be working with somewhere where you're just, it sucks working in an office where it stinks. I used to work in a mold shop. All I smelt was like kerosene, cleaners, grease, cutting fluids, and plastic from injection molds. Glass-filled polypro stinks when it burns. And I dealt with that every day at work. It is what it is. But if you're going to be having a resin printer in a home office, maybe look into getting a resin printer that has an active charcoal filter in it. Or put it in an enclosure or something. Like, there are ways to do it safely. Again, people do this every day for work. There are ways to do it safely. This is a big resin printer. In terms of like volume, for those curious, it is 220 by 118 by 220 base, or 210 by 118 by 220 is the build volume. What about FDM? FDM, it's a lot less of a risk. Yes, you could be printing ABS, which off gases, but most of the time you're going to be printing in an enclosed printer anyways. And again, it's very easy to add filtration. I don't bother because I run my printers in my garage that are printing ABS and ASA. Those printers live out here. All the printers are enclosed. I make it a habit to not open the enclosure until the print is done and the chamber drops back to room temperature, so all the particulates settle. And I try to not be out here while I'm printing as much as I can. But it is what it is. Okay, so how does this work? After inserting the build plate into the connecting, okay, so let's peel this off. Please press firmly on the build plate when tightening the screws. Okay. Do I peel this off first? Let's see. Sometimes you're not supposed to peel this off. There's like, nope, they don't have anything. Okay, I guess I'll peel that off. Lift this up, push this in, lock that down. Okay. So after inserting the build plate into the connecting block, press the handle down to secure the build plate to the connecting block. Okay. Model printing. Slowly pour resin into the tank. Model processing. It literally just goes from put that in and pour resin into the tank, keeping it between the min and max line. Avoid touching the machine during the resin self-check process before printing. Cover the printer and select a pre-sliced test model for printing. Model processing. After printing is complete, insert the drip tray parallel to the tank. Yeah, fasten the screws on both sides and install the drip tray onto the printer. The tray prevents resin strips in the machine, removing the plate. Okay. AI camera. So there is slicing software. What I'm thinking is we get this kind of going with a test print. And then while the test print is printing, we get the software set up. I'm just trying to go through the setup here. This is it. There is no quick start guide. It's literally what we just did is all it gives me. And it's like pour resin in and get printing. Okay. Are these all tight? I'm assuming these screws are tight. I'm assuming they're backup screws. Like they don't even give you an Allen key for these. Like the Allen key isn't even for these. I'm assuming they're tight. I'm assuming we're good to go. Okay, pouring some resin in. Let's get some resin in the machine. It has self-leveling. I just didn't realize it would be that quick. The bed has springs. Okay, well, we'll see how it goes. I mean, see how it goes here. Let me grab the resin that came with it. Where did I put it? Actually, oh, I put it over here. No axis lock? No, it just locks in and... Oh, there's springs in there, I think. Hey, Iconic Fab. I know, previous resin printers usually had like a Z setup routine, but I guess this does it. Shaky shake. So this is standard photopolymer resin gray. And jiggle, 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 jiggle. Well, this is why we do it live. This is why we always do it live. Like we always don't forget to pour shield. I know. I will. I'm shaking up the... What's my shop temp? It is 19 degrees Celsius in the garage right now, but this has a heated bed. So, it has a heated bed. How long does it take to heat? I have no idea. I'm going into this the same time you guys are. If you've been watching the stream, you know as much about the printer as I do. Like, we're going into this raw. This is how we do it. Okay. This is a 1 liter jug of this stuff, by the way. One liter. Yeah, there's a max. There's a max. I filled it up to the max. I mean, it says it's good to max. Fill it to max. Send it. Probably shouldn't have gone all the way to max, considering my desk here probably isn't perfectly level, but it is what it is. You remove this too when moving. Yeah. Yeah, you screw it in. It actually has points for screwing it in. Okay, so let's close this. Let's put the USB drive in. Probably shouldn't have filled it up all the way, but it is what it is. Okay. Okay, print, USB file, printing test, Rook. Sure, that JPEG's a little funky, but rook.goo. Is that the only one? Elegoo chest, no files. Yep, okay. Print. Transferring files, please wait. Okay, So it's heating the bed up from 18 Celsius to 30 Celsius, it looks like. Use that bib and remove it. Yep. So we were waiting. Oop, it said something. There was a pop-up. It's also recording, apparently. So we'll see. Bed equal tank, yeah. Have we checked the slicer? Nope, we haven't. We are, the plan is to, it uses Cheeto box. Okay, so basically the plan is I wanted to get the test print going, and while the test print is going, we'll do the software setup here. So it'll do the test print, I'll get the test print off, and then we'll, what's going on here? Automatic detection for resin in the vat. Yeah, there's, what's going on here? It doesn't say anything. Is it printing? It says recording. Okay, heating tank, please wait. Oh, it was moving down. Oh, it moved down. I didn't even see that. It moved down. Heating the tank, please wait. Okay. Oh, oh, that's cool. As it's heating the tank, it's doing this to like circulate the resin. To like mix it up. That's pretty cool. That it's doing that so the resin heats evenly. Like it'll. Okay, so we gotta install CHOW box. So CHOW box. Chat working? You don't see the messages? I can refresh chat. The overlay might be frozen. Okay, so it's like go to CHOWbox.com, download the right slicing software version, and install it on your computer. Okay. No, I don't want your newsletter. I'm assuming we go with basic. Download. To get the bubbles out. Yeah, it's doing that too, but I'm assuming doing this as well also helps it so that the liquid heats up more evenly and quicker too. Well, it does have a little light in there. There is a little light in here. You can see it right there. Who is this? It also mixes the resin that's been sitting for a while. Yep. Oh, we're going. I think we're going. It says 0%. 0% on rook.goo. Okay, let's see. Let's install CHOW box. I am starving. I'm doing chicken and rice for dinner today because healthy, yay. Oh, okay, basic setup. I accept the license. Next, installing. There we go. Move the resin bottle, sure. Oh, it's still heating up. Yeah, it's still heating up. So when it prints, it'll tilt. No Orca for resin? No. Unfortunately not. It does have grills on the side, but I don't think they're filters. I think it's just exhaust. Yeah, it's just an exhaust. I will say you probably do have to be a little bit more careful on where you put this machine. simply for the fact that there is actually a gap at the top. There is a gap at the top of the enclosure because it does hinge. So I don't think you're going to get light getting in there. But you probably are, this machine is probably going to be a little bit smellier than some other resin machines because it does have just a gap across the top. So any fumes are probably going to get out. Yeah, it's just doing its thing. What would a guy like me need to get into resin? You need the resin machine, you need a wash and cure station. Technically, you don't need a wash and cure station. You can manually clean the prints with ISO by hand with like a brush and a tub, and then you can cure them outside in the sun. Ain't nobody got time for that though, but that is something you can do. And depending on how big of a resin print you do and whatnot, you may end up having to do that anyways. So you're gonna need the resin machine, you're gonna want a wash and cure station, and then you're gonna need gloves, a mask, eye pro. You should be wearing eye pro with resin. You do not want to get resin in your eyes at all. Yes, I know these aren't like proper safety glasses. These are just regular glasses, but at least wear something over your eyes, please. Yeah. If you do a lot of resin printing, you probably are going to want to get a wash and cure station. What are we at? 24 Celsius. I think it goes up to 30. Okay, so welcome to CHOW box. This is a lot different than it was for me before. Step. So we are English. Interface theme. We want dark mode. Dark mode. Yeah. Oh, we want dark mode. Yeah. And add the machine. So we got an Elegoo Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. Finish. There we go. Sure. Apply. There we go. There's our resin printer. Woo. By the gallon. I kind of goofed. I scheduled the stream and everything, and then I was like, great, okay. I've got the wash and cure station over there. Once the print gets going, I'll pull the wash and cure station over, and we'll just take a quick look at it because I have it set up over there. I forgot to buy ISO. So I have a wash and cure station from a previous printer. So I'm gonna have to dump the ISO that's been in the container for like a bit. It's pretty clean. It is clean. Like I only used it a couple times, but it's just been sitting in a vat. So I got to pour it out of the old vat into the new wash and cure station vat. Yeah. Okay, so keep all these screws. I'm assuming these are extra screws for the lid. Denatured alcohol, yeah. Just don't use whiskey. What are we at? What are we at? 26 Celsius. Yeah, so no, the container is closed. Like it's an actual closed container. Here, 1 second. It's an actual closed container. Like it's ISO. It's in a closed container. But the wash and cure station that comes with this printer is this one. So they sent me a new one. Water washable resin. How is it mechanically though? Like, is the prints weaker with it? I'll be honest. There's a few things I want to print off this right off the bat, but I kind of want to start doing minifigures on it. I kind of want to get into like minifigure stuff. Don't put the water. Yeah. Wow, it is a good thing it's garbage day. Garbage day? What do we got here? What What are these? Oh, these are the light bars for the... Garbage is already full. Okay. Oh, this is cool. They got little reflectors to get underneath the bottom. That's cool. So would ethanol work for cleaning? I don't know. I don't know how ethanol would react with the resin. I use ISO because I can get 99% ISO cheap at Costco. Because Costco is awesome. We're Costco guys. Although I will say, where is the... I'm hoping the power brick's in here. Actually, is this the same container? I might just be able to reuse this container. I think the container is the same. I think the washing cure station is the same. What do we got in here? What do we got in here? Okay, here's the power brick. Here's the power brick. Jeez, look at that. Look at all this garbage. This is why, like, it's hilarious. I was speaking with like other content creators who do printer stuff like me, and we all complain about garbage. It's amazing how quickly you just get like, you just get boxes and garbage. It just builds up. Oh, this is plastic instead of metal. Okay. So this is plastic instead of metal. I don't know if that's beneficial that it's plastic instead of metal. Okay. And then that just goes in there. So I got to dump the ISO out of that container into this container. It's got little dividers too. It's got a divider. What is this? Little divider. I don't know. Pretty big holes in the basket. They're pretty small on the bottom. Maybe that's why they went with this instead of thing. Are we heated up yet? 29 degrees Celsius. Okay. So let's see. Can I just use this container? Is this the same container? I'm wondering if, no, I think the geometry, oh, the geometry is different. Dang it. Yeah. Okay. So let's do this here off camera. So if I make an absolute mess, you guys won't see and you can't laugh at me. But I'm going to dump a bunch of isopropyl alcohol from one container into another. And when you go to cure it, you put this on and then you put the lid back on. What's up? What's with the Helldivers costume? What about the Helldivers costume? What about the Helldivers costume? I never finished the Helldiver. I did the helmet, and then I was going to do the rest of the suit, and then I didn't. Simple as that. I was going to do a whole Helldivers costume, and then I kind of stopped playing the game, and then I finished the helmet, and then, yeah. So instead, I'm working on some power armor from Fallout. So, oh, it made a noise. It made a cunk noise. Wait. Is it going? Can you hear it? Ooh, I can see the light. The light's on. It's doing something. I can smell resin. And yes, I know you can see the reflection. Oh, okay, it's working. I can hear it doing the separate. I can hear it do the shtick noise. I know you guys can't see it at all, but it is tilting. It's pretty cool. You can actually, ooh, come on. You can see the light. Wait for it. It's doing the first few layers take a little bit longer. It should turn off. Come on. Come on. Yeah, and then the vat tilts. So it tilts instead of... So on a traditional resin printer, what it does is it prints the layer, and then it goes... But the problem is you have to get over a lot of stiction when you do that, right? You basically got to make sure it rips off the bottom, the FEP sheet, but not off the thing. So you can't... You have to like... it off. But by tilting it, it breaks the tension easier and with less force, and it's faster. So theoretically, this should be able to print a lot faster. The Prusa does it the same. By the way, this light, it doesn't look like this real life. This UV light here, wait. Come on. It does not look this bright IRL. Like, it just looks like a very dull purple. On the camera, it looks so much cooler because it's infrared. It's UV, it's ultraviolet or whatever. So the camera sensors pick it up differently than your eyeballs do. So when I'm looking at it, it's just slightly purple. Okay, now I'm gonna spill isopropyl alcohol all over my floor. Wish me luck. Remember, kids, don't believe in yourself. Believe in me, because I believe in you. Oh, that smells great. That smells great. That's fresh. That is some fresh ISO. Woo! Lemony fresh ISO. Okay. Whew. We do a little bit of aerating a chemical that is highly flammable. Just a little bit of we're just making a little FEA or FAE. We're just making a little FAE. Just a little FAE. Not a big FAE. Just a little FAE. And if you don't know what that is, please don't say it in chat, because I don't want to trip the YouTube censor filters. Okay, so that's that. Real pain is properly disposing of your ISO. I got into distilling. So what I've done in the past when it comes to ISO, I use it until it's dirty, and then I run it through a filter, and I'll salvage what I can and mix it with fresh. I do that for a bit, and then eventually I get to the point where it's bad. And then what I'll do is I'll put it in a container that I don't mind disposing, and I'll put the, I'll let it settle, and then I'll run it through the UV or put it outside, let all the particulate harden inside of it, run it through another filter again, salvage what I can, and then I'll put it in and bring it to the waste disposal place. Now just put it in a jug and bring it to the waste disposal place. Most of your city waste disposal services have a location or a process for disposing of chemical waste. You just got to go a little out of your way to do it usually. It's not a huge process because it's not like I'm going through a ton of it. But usually what I do is my process is, again, I filter it out as I use it. And then when it gets really bad, I'll put it in a container, like some ceramic mason jars or whatever. Let it settle. I'll run the UV light, like I'll put it in the curing station. That way it causes all the particulates to actually harden and settle out. And then I'll filter it one more time, salvage what I can, and then the rest I just get rid of. So, there are knobs who dump their ISO. Yeah, don't dump your ISO down the drain, please. Do it properly. Chemicals are bad. Don't just wash it down the drain. And don't just pour it down like outside in your driveway. The last thing you want is to be responsible for a what is it? What are they called when you have like for anyone here who's ever had an underground oil tank, like for like fuel heating oil, seen what happens when those leak and you have to like pay to get it properly disposed of. Superfund site. Yeah, you don't want a Superfund site. As somebody who was born next to the Sydney tar ponds, you don't want to have a Superfund site right next to your house. You don't want remediation and all that. Okay, can somebody send me a link to something on the Discord that will look really cool on resin? Like a cool resin print? And no, I'm not gonna print a muscular mushroom man. We're gonna try the slicer here because we got it set up. I want to see how you can hook up the Wi-Fi because apparently, network management. Okay, so open the slicing software and click on that in the upper right corner. Network management. Wait, that's not it. Oh, CHOW manager. Okay, it's called network manager. Download instruction. Okay. So they call it network management center, but it's called CHOW management. A mini Canuck creator. I could do that, but for those that are following on the Twitch channel, we beat Armored Core 6 for the first time yesterday. I'm actually already at Act 5 again because, fun fact, if you have an overpowered mech in Armored Core and you just skip all the talking, it goes by really quick. So I'm already back at Act 5, so when we play again tomorrow, it'll probably be tomorrow, we'll redo the other ending. So I kind of want to print some Armored Core stuff. Also, next week's going to suck because Monday I have to drive to Toronto. Or actually probably Monday. I found out in Canada to get a passport, or correction, to get a visa to go to China, you can't do it online. You have to do it in person, and the closest in-person place is in Toronto. So I was like, I'll just take a train up. The problem is trains in Canada suck, so I can't guarantee I'll get there at the time that I'm going to need to be there, because when you book the appointment, it's like they have an hour window. So either I take the train and book it like 2 hours past my arrive time to ensure if I'm delayed, because via rail, if anyone's traveled via rail, there's always delays. So I'm gonna have to drive to downtown Toronto for like a 20-minute appointment for my visa, go home, and then I'm gonna have to go back and get it. Yeah, China. I want to go to China. By the way, CHOW, you gotta pay your hamsters more. Am I running a certain 3D flutter company? Which one? There's quite a few that use 3 letters. No, the company's inviting me out for, have I said it? I don't know if I should say that. It's not a big deal. Big Tree Tech. They're flying me out and some other people for TCT Asia. And then we're going to go over to Shenzhen after to go visit their facility. And hopefully I can make a little stop by at LDO, I'm hoping. So. Next thing. I would like to see Naomi, just to see her and say hi. Hope she's doing well. I'm excited. Go over there, download the newest DeepSeek model, flex on all the tech bros. Okay, question. I am not a huge LLM fan, okay? Simply for the fact that I think a lot of what people are, they're trying to make it do more than it can do, and I'm not a big fan of how essentially it's gonna put us all out of the job. But the fact that you can kind of run them now, like offline, have your own little personal one, how much hardware, like, okay, if anyone here knows who Videl is in Neurosama, I don't want to do that. But like, how much oomph in terms of processing power do you need to just have like a little, like, if I want a little AI co-host that just has a little robot face and just like, I can ask random questions during a stream, how much power do you need to run that? Like if I just wanted like a little AI co-host, a little bot on the stream, just like a fun little project. A lot of GPU RAM. Well, I have a 3090, but that's in my main computer, so I'm not going to use that. You're on a 3060. Safety test to run, see if it pauses or aborts. I believe it does. Pretty much every resin machine I know, and I don't want to fail this one. Like, it's doing its initial test, so I don't want to mess it with it already. I'm sure it's in there as a safety function. I'm sure this is the best part. Everyone already rushed to do their videos in the 4 days they had the printer for. So there's already videos out there probably covering that subject. 5090. We don't have the money for that. I have, my personal computer has a 3090 in it. My wife's computer has a 3080 in it. And then the only other video card I have that's like higher end, that the only one that's not being used, I have a 5700 XT. But as far as I'm aware, AMD cards are not that good at AI. You want the NVIDIA card for AI because of the tensor cores or the GPU cores or the whatever the hell CUDA cores. So as far as I'm aware, AMD cards are not good for AI. So I have a 5700 XT just chilling, but it's not being used for anything. Yeah, I know who Neurosama is. I don't want anything like that. I was just like, how, like, just as a fun little project to have an offline. I know Jeff Geerling's already throwing, like, making a Raspberry Pi run it. But like, just a simple co-host, a little AI co-host kind of thing. The API isn't too great. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, that AMD kind of, the hardware actually isn't bad on AMD processors. It's just the software is just lacking. 3060, 12 gig. Yeah, because from my understanding, it's not so much the raw power. It needs the RAM to feed it. Like, even if you have a super powerful GPU, if it doesn't have the RAM to go with it, it's not worth it. So it's better to actually have a slightly slower GPU with more RAM, because the RAM feeding the data to the brain is the more important part, and how fast it can feed it. That's why apparently it runs really good on M4 Max, because of the unified RAM. It allows it to basically, like, people are using like Mac 4 clusters apparently to run this thing at home. So. I don't know, it's just like a fun little thing I was kind of floating. And then the fun thing would be, like, I could use it for projects, like make a little, you know, hit up PCBWay, make a little face for it and whatnot, like that kind of thing. Jetson Nano. Oop. Hey, finally finished downloading. Next. Sure. Yes, install. You have a 4060 Ti and a 1050 runs LLMs better. How? That's the thing. You guys know me. I don't know shit about software. That's the thing. I don't nothing about software. Okay, so that's allow. Okay, so let's. I'm gonna not do this on camera in case it leaks any details, but add a printer. Scanning printers on LAN. Found 3D printer R, which is resin. Add. Okay. So we're gonna call this Saturn 416K Ultra. Yes, I know Ultra is before the 16K, but Ultra sounds cool. Okay. Camera connected. Can I see the camera? Oh, video surveillance. Oh, wow. That's actually a really high frame rate. That's actually a really high frame rate. So let's see here. What's this do? Okay, that network sending. So that sends files to it. Okay, but how do I have to click that? Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, it opens that in a window. Okay, so can I... There we go. I mean, this is a better view than... I mean, yeah, this is a better frame rate than a Bamboo. And this machine costs as much as a P1S. What the hell? How does it... Well, here's the thing. I think this has an SoC on it. I don't know what it has for processing power, but obviously it had... Like, that's a decent frame rate. Like, you could see there's some pixelization going on there because, of course, it's pretty low light in there. But, like... That's a really good frame rate. It does not need to be that good at all. So that's cool. Yeah, it's a 1080p camera. I mean, like, legit, that's actually not a bad camera at all. The problem is with resin, you can't monitor your first layer. You can't see how the print's doing until it's like all the way up out of the resin. So however deep the resin is, you got to wait till the print, unless you pause it, it'll bring up and then you can resume it. But usually what I do is you just stand by the printer when it starts printing and you just listen, because you'll hear the filament, or the filament, you'll hear the print detaching off the FEP for the first couple layers. So you just wait. And so as long as you hear that, like, ka-chunk, when it does it, you're usually good, I find. Anything more than an 8 gig model, you almost need 2. Well, here's the thing, like, it's not like, I'm not gonna be like, hey, what happened in Tiananmen Square? Like, everyone's asking it that. Nobody uses AI for that. Nobody uses their fucking chat GPT unless they're trying to get brownie points with their tech bros. Oh, I can't run it. Well, for those that don't know, DeepSeek is a Chinese model, yes. But when you run it off the app or on their website, you're using their servers, which are in China. So of course it's gonna be censored. That's just how it is. It's just how it is. But if you run the model locally, you can change the weights, which I guess is like how it outputs, and you can basically tell it to knock that shit off and it'll just output whatever it outputs. So you just have to run it locally and change the weights. So, because apparently the default weights are the same weights as the online model runs, which makes sense. So yeah. So I'd be like, just to have something like, instead of, you know, okay, Google or whatever, Alexa, whatever, have like a little AI just in the room with like a little PCB face with LEDs that just, hey, what's this? And so, because here's the thing, why would you pay $200 a month for an OpenAI subscription now when you can just run your own locally? That's as good. Like, even if it's not locally, apparently the cost to run DeepSeek is much less. Like it takes less oomph to run it. So you can, like, companies can use it, like, if they just invest in the hardware and they can run it locally and get around the $200 a month that OpenAI. And OpenAI apparently is losing money on the $200 a month package. So it's like, it's people are like, oh, they didn't really train it for $5 million or whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter how they trained it. The fact is now there is an open source AI that's as good as the closed AI that you're paying for. So the companies that are trying to tell you, we need $500 billion for the Stargate program so we can buy all these chips, when, you know, freaking Pied Piper over in Shenzhen knocks it out of the park. It's like, it is what it is. CCP is watching. You know what? I don't even care anymore, because guess what? I'm not American. So what if one foreign country is stealing all my shit versus another foreign country? It's all foreign countries stealing my shit anyways. What do I care? Like, and let's be honest, if they want your data, they just go to a data broker and buy it like everyone else does. You can get your data. They don't have to, you got the Temu app on your phone already. Just don't be dumb, and if you're using an online model, don't upload stuff that you don't want being online. Like, using an online model is fine for, like, oh, hey, summarize this news article. Yeah, whatever. That stuff's fine. But like, hey, I work for DARPA and we're working on a Metal Gear. What grade of steel should I use for the knee joint? That is something you don't ask an online model. Just be smart on how you use it. Like, it is what it is. You prefer giving your data to Winnie the Pooh or the Zuck? I'll be honest, neither and both. I really don't care because they're going to get the data anyways. I don't have any information. I mean, like, I've got the external drive with all the Voron 3 data on it, but, you know, I can't share that. Does it even exist? I don't know. Voron V3, Voron 2.5, I don't know. Maybe we just skip and go right to Voron 6.9 because it's nice. Who knows? Open source. It's open source. You know what? I give them credit for open sourcing it. Because OpenAI ain't open. It started as a non-profit. I'm working on the thighs, making up so I can hopefully. Oh, yep, that ain't gonna stick. I need to get like actual like epoxy. Because I made a mistake and I ordered a bunch of neoprene to use for like stuff like this, for like joining. The problem is it doesn't stick to anything. Like, I need to get actual like cement, contact epoxy cement, because this isn't sticking. Might have to use something different. Look at it go. I have a 420 cube build volume. Yes. Yes, it does. Voron 420 running Clipper 6.9. Nice. Very nice. What's the latest public update on Phoenix? It's amazing how easy it is to get something from 0 to 95%. And then that last little 5% sucks. TLDR, making a large format IDEX using off-the-shelf parts that is as reliable and consistent as we'd like is not as easy as you think. Remember, anyone can build a large printer. Ask anyone who bought an Orange Storm Giga. It's building a large printer that's good is the problem. Well, this is doing that. Let me get the resin stuff set up. Let me get the... I'll do it over here off camera just because I have more room over here. I've got a shelf. And by shelf, I mean my... whatchamacallit? My bunker freezer. How much percent are we at? We're at 12%? Really? I thought this was supposed to be fast. I don't know how big this is. That's the thing. I don't know how big this is. I thought it was supposed to be fast. Is the last 5% hardware or software? Both. The problem is it's very, you see it very often in 3D printing where a lot of companies release that 95% done and they just go, good enough. And then all the users go, what the hell, this sucks. Okay, so this has a thingamabobber. Okay, let's see here. I'm assuming that's that. Okay, so that turns that on. Okay. Okay, so that's really simple to use. That's really simple to use. Oh, don't crunch the cable. There we go. Yeah, the resin vat does have or the wash and cure station does have a lid sensor on it. I can see it. Like the FL Sun S1, yep. I am so disappointed in that machine. I am so disappointed in that machine. I had much higher hopes for that machine because I kind of like the V400. You know, it wasn't exactly like a machine for me. Did they offer me an S1 Pro? They did, and I turned it down. What does the S1 Pro do over the S1 that's worth having an entire large format Delta that I barely use? Whenever the last time you guys saw me use the S1 on stream was the last time I used it. How long did it take to heat up? Like 10 minutes. But like my garage was cold. Like when I came out here this morning, it was like 12 Celsius and I turned the heater on. It's actually 20 Celsius. It's like we are finally out of this like cold snap. Like it's actually starting to warm up finally. You're off to bed. Off to bed? Where are you at? Are you in Australia? 4:23. Actually, no. Shenzhen is 13 hours ahead, isn't it? I think Shenzhen's 13, or are they behind? Perth? Okay, yeah, Perth. Well, enjoy your EPs. No, about Prusa at the time. Yeah. Speaking of Prusa, let me go check my, see if I gotta yell at DHL. Oh. What are you cooking? That's soup. Chicken noodle soup. Oh. Nice. Go inside, the wife's got food going. I'm like, what the hell? Or one. I mean, to be fair, I did have a package get dropped off today from Prusa, and what was inside it? An extruder nozzle. 2 of them, and that's it. There's supposed to be 4 boxes. According to our latest tracking information, your shipment has been partially delivered. Delivery options for the additional pieces will be available on the site as soon as delivery is scheduled. Check back later. Why haven't I taken it down yet? I don't need the space yet. It's off. Actually, is it off or is it on? I don't know. I haven't used it in forever. It's there so it can see, it can take a, it can see what other printers do that are actually working. No, it was a little box. They were some obsidian nozzles. Because I want to I actually got a whole bunch of nozzles here. I got some from Fadis as well. Sicknick extruder, Prusa, yeah, so I got a bunch of nozzles here. But the plan is I want to print a bunch of CF PETG on the XL because the plan is to reprint the chest parts for the power armor in carbon fiber PETG on the Prusa XL because it's the biggest printer I have. But for that I needed nozzles that were hardened, so I got some hardened nozzles shipped. Prelude to a lost shipment. It better not be a lost shipment. It better not be. You have a $400 off coupon. I'm thinking of Core 1. Can't wait till you. I will say I fully understand waiting to purchase, and I applaud that, and I wish everyone did that. But based on first impressions of me seeing one in person, if they weren't sending me one, I would have bought one. Simple as that. I did buy a Prusa Mark IV. That Mark IV that's in the enclosure, I bought with my own money. All the other Prusas they sent, because Prusa has realized, hey, we need to actually send printers to content creators for marketing. Have I seen a Sculpt too? I think I saw Joel play with one and hate it. How does CF PETG compare to ABS for cosplay stuff? Well, the helmet is CF PETG. This helmet here is CF PETG. So this whole helmet is printed in carbon fiber PETG on the Pantheon HS3. The thing is though, you can't see it because it's all post-processed to heck with sanding and priming and Bondo and paint and texturing and weathering. So you can't see the filament underneath. I will say, It was nice because it actually hid layer lines on vertical surfaces better than ABS. But when it came to the sanding of the material, it wasn't as good. I find ABS and ASA, you can pretty much go right to sanding. With PTG, not as much. It's better than PLA though. And the advantage with ABS and ASA is you can acetone weld it very easily, and it makes a very strong bond. With that, it's all super glue and epoxy together. I did the paint the mesh on the inside kind of thing. What sub 1K printer to get? I recommend a Core 1 kit. If you're okay with building a printer, like I haven't built the Core 1, obviously, I don't even have one yet. But I'm thinking the Core 1 kit for people that like having a bit of knowledge and fun building the printer and also have a good printer out at the end of the day. I think the Core 1 kit is going to be a great option for a lot of people because you have the fun of building the printer. So if you're a nerd like me who just has fun making stuff, and then when you're done, you have a really good printer because it's a Prusa and you're going to get all the support you need, updates forever, compatibility with a bunch of stuff. Like it's a Prusa. Can't go wrong with a Prusa. Like, the only thing against Prusa is for some people, the sizes aren't the sizes of printers they need and the cost. The moment you take cost out of the equation, because some people, the cost doesn't matter, especially like business purchases, education purposes. Like for a lot of people, the cost is not a big factor. Outside of cost and sizes, which for a lot of people don't matter, they're very good. So. What about Voron? Voron's a DIY machine. I don't like comparing DIY printers to off-the-shelf printers because it's like comparing a kit car to a Honda Civic. They are completely different ethos. One is a fully open source, completely DIY machine. You build from scratch, you can mod it. It's tons of community mods involved. Like it's a completely different beast versus I went online, threw my credit card and a printer showed up at my door. They are completely different types of printers. Vorons, in my opinion, are better in some things, not in others. I know people who built Vorons for print farms and they're crazy in my opinion. I would never use Vorons for a print farm. Unless you needed specific printers to fit specific use case and you had to customize the printer for the use case. So. Yeah, the fact that they got the Core 1 down to the price it is, it's price comparable to an X1C. Yes, it is slightly smaller build volume in the Y, but it has more in the X. It's 250 by 220 versus 250 by 250, but it has 270 on the Z, I believe. So in my opinion, it has more usable volume because you'd be surprised how often you run into the Z limit before the XY limit. Remember, most people, 250 is a normal size for a printer. Like, you have to remember, Prusa runs printables and they sell filament. They know what people are printing and they know what they're printing it out of. So it makes sense for them to target the biggest segment of the market, which is PLA PETG printing on 250-ish size machines. That's the best bang for your buck, the best ROI. If you're coming out with a printer design, that's the market you want to capture because that's what the majority of the market is. So. The group that wants large printers, don't get me wrong, I like my XL because it's large because I'm going to be printing big stuff on it. There are use cases for large printers. I'm a firm believer that the we need large printers group is a very small but very vocal group. They're not that needed, I think. How many times do you need to print a Mandalorian helmet? I understand people do need it. I'm just saying the average person doesn't need to print 50 Mandalorian helmets. Like I don't know where the term helmet class printer. I see people using that term. It's a helmet class printer. I print helmets. I've got a bunch of them. I rarely print them in one piece because when you print them in one piece for a lot of helmets, they don't print that good because of the way it's designed. It's better to cut them up into smaller pieces and print them in different orientations, so you have less layer line issues and you have stronger parts and you need less support than just like printing it as one big homogeneous thing. Like here, I've got a Doom Guy helmet here that I printed in one piece and it came out horribly. Yeah. Yeah. So this is a Doom Guy helmet. Printing this in one piece was a nightmare. I used so much support and so many of these details, like in here, it would have been better to print this vertically like this, like cut it in half, print it vertically like this, or cut it up into multiple sections and print it in better orientations. There are much better ways. Like it looks great on camera, but when you look at it up close, you can see all the issues with it. Like there's issues with this. This is not how I would have printed this if I wanted to actually do it. Like I printed it because I was testing a printer and this was like the first helmet that popped up when I searched helmets. Oh, the inside's a mess too. But it's like, it's not, there are better ways to do it. Does it fit? It fits. Rip and tear until it is done. You see the mustache. But yeah, you don't need a large printer. And companies don't come out with large printers often because they don't sell as much and they cost more to make. I don't use the, yeah, like I have a 300 Voron right here. Guess what? I don't use it as much. You know what printers I'm actually using the most right now? The Pantheon, which is a 300 to be fair, and then my Prusa Mark IVs. Those are the printers that I'm getting the most use out of right now, is the Pantheon and the Prusas. Gameplay trailer for the new Doom? I did. I can't wait to play it. Although, I'll be honest, I'll probably wait for it to go on sale. Simply for the fact that I don't have a lot of time for game. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Since we got the Twitch channel up again, and I'm playing games on Twitch, maybe we'll play it. I never played the DLC for Eternal. Dedicated functional parts machine. Well, that's the thing. Like, also, there's advantages to smaller printers too. They heat up quicker. They use less power. Like, I know a lot of people that have V0s at their desks at work because they're great for like just quick little prototype prints. They're quiet. They're enclosed. They're fast. They don't use a lot of power and they don't take up a lot of room. They're great for little prototyping machines on your desk. When I was at LMG, they had like 2 or 3 of them sitting on desks and they're in the engineering area. So what happened with the slicer? It's still there. When you bring up the window, it pops the window as a pop-up. The Prusa Mini? The Prusa Mini, in my opinion, needs to go. The Prusa Mini is outdated. The Prusa Mini is outdated. The Prusa Mini needs an update, big time. The problem is, they can't make it cheap, I don't think. The problem is manufacturing. Manufacturing a cheap printer in the EU. The Core 1 works because you can get a lot of ROI at that price, but I don't think you can scale down production costs as much to save as much money on the Mini. I don't think you're doing it with the Mini. I don't know how big this print is. We got 760 layers left, and we're done 240. I was hoping the test print would be quicker. I was hoping it'd be like a little quick test print, and then we'd be done, and then we could slice something. But I got a feeling this is what we're gonna be doing for the stream. So, at least we have the printer to look at. Problem is, I don't know how, I can't pull the IP out of it. Like, I wish I could pull it as a, what's the layer height? I don't know. It's a stock print. And the problem is I can't, it's on the SD card, so I can't pull up the SD card. Or actually, I might have copied it internally, but I'm not going to risk it. Yeah, it's a Rook, but it's a test print. So. Actually, does it give me a time? Printing. It gives you a percentage. Okay, so it's a 3-hour print. So there you go. It's 1,000 layers. And you can do time lapses. That's cool. Well, I know you can pause it to take a look, but like, we could see it. We're getting there. We're getting there. Where are we at? Where are we at? No, we're still in the vat. I mean, as long as it doesn't spill, we're good. You really don't want to overfill this because the vat tilts. What happened to the other ones? They're downstairs. I just stopped using them because what ended up happening was because they're kludgy, like this one I'm probably going to use more just for the fact that the lid stays on. But like one of them I cracked the lid because I took the lid off and I dropped it. Like I took the lid off and I put it on the lid of the wash and cure station and it like fell off and it cracked. And like some others, like it just, I don't do a lot of resin printing. They sit for a long time, and when they sit for a long time they get messy. So. Does it have a fast print setting? I mean, if you look at it, it's printing pretty fast. Like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 seconds a layer. Like, it's 6 seconds a layer. That's pretty quick, not gonna lie. That's a lot faster than an FDM machine. There is a fast print setting. Well, I don't know if I can. You can't even pause it. Like there's nothing to touch on the screen. There's nothing to touch on the screen. Like, oh, you can double tap it. Okay, that opens it up. Okay, one second here. What do we got here? Bottom layer count 5, normal layer height, transition type, bottom layer height, normal exposure time, bottom exposure time, print mode standard, high speed. Okay, we'll go to high speed. Okay. You can hear it going faster. So we'll see how it goes now. I don't know if the time updates. Oh, it does. It does. It does update with the new time. So we'll see how it goes. Maybe pause it. Oh, I know I can pause it to see the bed come up, but we're just gonna let it go. Won't the model look like crap? I mean, it's a test model. We're just doing this to see how it prints, right? I mean, this will be nice because now we'll be able to see the difference. So we'll have a single model where we can go, okay, up to here is regular and up to here is fast. And if this is, you know, if you care about looks, print it slow. If it's not that big of a deal, print it fast. Or hey, who knows? Maybe you don't even see the difference. Who knows? We'll find out. Yes, this has a heated vat. It's keeping the bed at 30 Celsius right now. It's 30 Celsius for the bed. So, DIY resin printer? No. It's like popped up every now and then. The problem with resin is it's DIYing resin is nowhere near as easy to do as FDM. Also, the problem is, for those that don't know, Voron's, the stock Voron, like the whole Voron design ethos is the printer is designed with commercially available off-the-shelf parts that anyone could source anywhere. Resin makes that a little bit hard because now you need screens and electronics that are custom, and like there's a reason open source resin is nowhere near as big as open source FDM. Simple as that. Like, it does exist, and there are people trying to do open source resin and FDM. But it is just nowhere near as, can't even see it. Nowhere near as big of a thing as FDM. That reflection. Okay, go. Let's check in the social media updates while this is doing this. I can hear it bubbling. I can hear a bubble noise, like a bubble, like loop. Need a circular polarizer. Actually, one second here. No, these don't have it. I have new glasses, by the way, and they're already dirty. Okay. Go. And then don't forget, I know this is super exciting watching a resin printer print. This is why we don't do a lot of resin printer stuff on the channel. It's boring because it's literally it's like, at least with FDM, you have a tool head going around and going, oh. This, it's literally repeat 1,000 times. So it's not exactly the coolest thing to look at. But it is what it is. But while you're watching this super exciting footage, don't forget, every stream we do give away a spool of filament from POLYMAKER. Link in the video description. Go enter for your chance. While you're down there, if you want to check out this printer or pre-order it from Elegoo, there is a link in there. It is not an affiliate link, it's just a regular link. And then while you're also down there, there is affiliate links if you are interested in supporting the channel and buying some stuff, like some filament from POLYMAKER, or hey, a Prusa printer, why not? So do that, like the smash button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. If you subscribe, your name pops up right here on the channel. Pops up right here if you subscribe. So if you want your name to pop up on screen right here, hit subscribe. And if you're watching this in the future at home, hi, what'd you have for lunch today? Was it good? Let me know if it was good. Enable the speed mode. I did enable the speed mode. We enabled speed mode about 25% of the way into the print. So. I just want to know what's going on with my package. You're watching from the future? How bad did the stock market collapse? Shouldn't we be able to see the print by now? I mean, no. I mean, it is going up. It is going up. Is it going up? Should be going up. Yeah, it's going up. I can see the plate now. Yeah. Yeah, you can see the plate. It is coming up. Yeah, you can see the plate there. Before you weren't seeing the plate. So it is coming up. With the speed mode, there shouldn't be any. Theoretically, you shouldn't see a difference in quality. The only difference you might see is on like certain more detailed stuff, because you're not letting it pre-harden as much, you might get some defects. That's pretty much the only thing I can think of. So. I do want a resin printer so the Ultra fits the bill. Yeah, the fact that this has a heated bed, if you run your printers in the garage, like here's my thing. I probably will be bringing this inside and putting it downstairs because my garage in the winter does get cold. And in the summer it gets hot. And I don't know how resin handles the heat. That's the thing. Like, what happens to resin in like a near 40 Celsius environment? Because if I go on vacation and I like this garage gets hot in the summer. So if I leave for like a week or whatever, or I'm just not out here and I don't like what I do in the summer before I go live for a stream, I leave the door to the house open to the garage and I blow cold air into the garage from the fan with a fan. And it works pretty good. It cools down the garage for about a couple hours, but it gets hot out here. So as long as it's not near. So I might keep this out here. We might keep this out here. I don't know if I have room though, because the problem is I put those shelves where I would put the resin printer. So I had resin printers out here, and I got rid of them because I put shelving up and I couldn't take the lid off. So I gotta measure how much room we got. How much room do I have? If I can get over here. I got so many parts for the cosplay all over the floor. It's ridiculous. What do we got? We got like 18 inches. Yeah, that's not gonna fit. So I can't put that over there. So this is gonna go downstairs probably. 16K. Well, it's the resolution. Remember, with resin printers, XY detail is based on your screen resolution because each pixel is a pixel, is essentially, because it's an image displayed with a mask that the mask lets the UV light through. So depending on how higher the resolution and also the pixel density. Because remember, like a 4K screen like this is probably good for resin, but a 4K screen like this is probably horrible for resin, right? It's about the DPI, right? The pixel density. The denser the pixels, the better it is. The higher resolution the print will be. You wanted to remove the... Well, I mean, I will. I just haven't gotten around to it. I'm going to be taking it down, because honestly, what's probably going to happen is the box turtle's going to live there, because I'm probably going to hook the box turtle up to my LDO V2. That's a 300 V2 under here. And to make it work, I'm probably going to have the box turtle on the shelf above it. So that's probably how I'm going to do the setup, is have the box turtle up top, get rid of the bamboo, shift everything over slightly, and have the box turtle sitting there. The turtle box. That build, I know, I'm looking forward to it. I gotta reach out, I gotta figure out what's going on with it though, because I was supposed to, everyone else has already, like Steve has started his build already. I haven't got my kit yet. It's on the way, I just don't know where it's at. I gotta reach out to Jason and figure out what's going on with it. You know, 12K. I mean, here's the thing. It depends what you're looking to get out of the machine. I'm assuming the big jump to 16 from 12K on a machine this size isn't that big of a difference. But the fact that the vat now tilts and it's heated is a big difference. So that's the big thing, I think. Mobot's starting his tomorrow. Dang it, I'm gonna be late with the turtle box. Wish it was 5. I mean, it is what it is. They had to pick one, and 4 makes the most sense. From my understanding, Orca Slicer and whatnot, they're all designed with like 4 banks of 4 filament in mind. So it's like 4, 8, 12, 16, etc. So 16 is probably more marketing. It could also be just sourcing the screens. Like, I don't know about you, what has a 16K screen that big? Like, I'm assuming they're like sourcing these screens from something that's already making these screens. So it could just be like, it's kind of like how 32-bit processors now cost less than the 8-bit processors. Like, it is cheaper to buy like the STM32 that you find in modern boards than it is to buy the 8-bit Arduino Mega CPU. Like, it just efficiencies and production scales kind of thing. So maybe that's why they went with 16. Maybe it's just easier to get 16K screens now. DeWitt has his kit. Okay, I gotta figure out what's going on. Jason. Where is Jason? There's any update on the box turtle kit? Also, I know it's an absolute long shot, but if anyone here works at Nord Space, reach out. I'm interested in coming around and taking a looky-loo. I know Jason's deep in Chinese New Year celebration. It makes sense. See, what I call it is a box turtle box. That way I'm right. It's a box turtle box. I wonder, you know that the water, the hygroscopic sprays, does that stuff work on resin? Like, you know how you could spray that hygroscopic like spray on stuff so that water like just beads off like your shoes and whatnot? Would it be worth spraying the resin vat? Like, obviously not the bottom, but like the top. Because like if you're watching it, like all this resin pooling on the top of it. It doesn't? Aw. Have you tried? No, no, no. Okay, I'm assuming that's a bad thing to do. Do not do that. Bad things? Okay. I don't know. It was just like, well, this is wet. And it's annoying to clean. What if we cover it with something to make it not be annoying to clean? Okay, don't do that. Well, I think it dries. Like, you would spray it on, let it dry, and then... What would you be? Water repellent spray. Water repellent spray. Because you can buy like waterproofing stuff and it's not that expensive. Like I have, well, conformal coating isn't water repellent, it's water protection. But like water, like, is it PTFE based? Is that how these work? I'm just wondering. Chemical reactions are a thing. Yeah, that's true. I mean, it wouldn't be hard just to like spray it on like a little dipstick or something to test. Pour a little resin in a cup and just test it that way. That way you don't risk contaminating anything. Can I create an example of what not to do? Oh, I don't do that often on here, let's be honest. Look at this. Reflections blocking everything. Can I, what if I do this? Let's make it so you can see. No. That ain't gonna work. What about overhead? Overhead camera any good? No, overhead, you can't see shit with the overhead camera. Move it back so at least you can see that. Ooh, Mind Flayer. Betrayal. I have beaten Baldur's Gate 3, I want to say 4 times now. I've got like 600 hours, 700 hours in the game. And I have multiple playthroughs that haven't finished. But I have beaten the game 4 times, like gotten to the credits 4 times. Not once have I sided with this traitorous son of a bitch. Not once. And yes, I know this is not the Emperor, it's a different Mind Flayer, but still. Not once. Just checking out what's going on in the Discord. All good. How's the air filtration? This one I don't think has air filtration. I mean, we'll pull it up here. Saturn 4 Ultra 16K. I don't think it has filtration. I can kind of smell the fumes. I can kind of smell the fumes right now. My eyes are, I think I could tell there's some fumes going on right now. I don't think it has a filter. I think it's an option though. You got a mini, yeah, it does have a Mars filter, but I don't know where it goes. It doesn't have a filter built in, I believe. It's got auto leveling, smart taint heating, tilt release, upgraded camera, and a mechanical sensor, I guess. Like on the bright side, since this will be downstairs, my basement, the room that I keep my printers in the basement, I have the door sealed. So like the vent in the room is sealed. And I actually ran weather stripping around the door itself. So whenever any printing's taking place in the room in the basement, you don't smell it, so. And then I also have some stuff from Soraya Tech too, I haven't used yet. They sent me a bunch of resins to try. They have their own slicer now? Satellite. Oh, that's cloud. I don't like cloud. USB and built-in Wi-Fi, that's nice. Heat dissipation, 4 copper heat pipes and a single fan. USB unavailable, compatible with Mars Mate. Okay, so you can use the Mars Mate, whatever that is. I was gonna search that on Google, and that would be a bad thing to search on live, while I'm live streaming. Mars Mate. Okay, it does bring up that. So you can buy this. What is this? How does it work? Oh, oh wow, this the print. What is this? Oh, I see. Okay, so there's a expansion port on the back here that's plugged. So you would plug it in there, and then you would have a filter next to it that sucks the air out of the printer, runs it through a filter. Okay. So you would have to have an exhaust, essentially. You would have to have an external filter. I will say, I can tell it's resin printing. My eyes are starting to get a little tingly. Can you even see the print? Are we high enough to see the print yet? Not yet. Still can't see the print. Used to be USB. Yeah, this doesn't. There's a USB port on the side, but I think it's only for like SD cards or external thumb drives. I mean, it doesn't help that I have a heater right next to my feet. That probably doesn't help. Look at those bubbles. Well, those bubbles don't matter. They're on top of the build plate. Don't get resin. Yep, I know not to get resin on my skin. We wore gloves and everything. Look at all those chickens. I understood that reference. What are we doing Friday? What are we doing Friday on stream? I don't know yet. Okay, well, the box turtle is on the way. The box turtle is on the way. So I'll have a turtle box soon. It shipped just before the holidays, so should be, or shipped before Chinese New Year, so we should have it soon. Don't get on your skin, and well, don't get it on your skin first, and then also don't go into sunlight. What am I gonna do for? I took a bunch of chicken out, so I got defrosted chicken. I think chicken breasts. I think, and then I have a bunch of rice in the fridge from yesterday left over. So I think I'm just gonna cut up the chicken, pan fry it, and throw the rice in and make some fried chicken rice or something easy. What exactly is the box turtle? It's a DIY AMS type setup. But with it being open source, you can pretty much add it to any printer that runs Clipper, and probably RepRap firmware as well, and probably Marlin if you know what you're doing. And you can make it however many units you want. The kit comes with 4. LDO makes a kit, so you buy the kit, it does 4 filaments. But if you're self-sourcing, you can make it like 20 units long if you want. No, the box turtle is not Voron version of an ERCFA. ERCFA is technically a Voron project now. The guy, well, yes, no, kind of. The guy who designed the ERCFA got invited to the Voron team. Is the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder officially under the Voron banner? No, but it's a Voron adjacent project. The box turtle is pretty much like an independent open source AMS. Yes, it works with Vorons, but it works with pretty much anything running Clipper. So you can use it on your rat rig. You can use it on your Cheaty machine running Clipper. Like pretty much any Clipperized machine that has a filament cutter, you can use it on. So the joys of open source. The joys of gamer subs. Buy some today. Use code Canuck. Save 10% on your order. Link in the video description. Who's honking their horn outside? Look at it go. I mean, we're out of the resin vat. Problem is I can't see underneath it because it doesn't lift up. Because it tilts the vat down. Usually with a resin printer, it'll lift up a bit and come down. So you can see it earlier, but because this just does, You don't see it until it like gets up pretty high. Talked with Scott last night. He has Chameleon almost integrated into Marlin. Was interested in the box turtle, so maybe nice. The biggest issue you're gonna run into projects like this with Marlin is the multi MCU stuff. Klipper is great because with Klipper, you just get your Raspberry Pi and you just start plugging shit in. So it's like, okay, there's the printer. And now we're gonna plug in, you know, okay, here's the Enraged Rabbit carrot feeder. And then, oh, I want a USB webcam. Okay, well, we're just gonna plug that in now too. And it's like, oh, I wanna also add on a whole other printer. Why not? Let's just plug that in as well. Like, that's the advantage you have with Klipper. You can multi-MCU is a complete non-issue with Klipper. You just keep plugging shit in. As long as you got USB ports, you're good. So you can have independent MCUs. You don't need to have everything running on one board, which I don't believe Marlin can do that yet. I think there's a way through Octoprint to kind of do it, but it's not there. I don't believe it. I might just be misremembering something. Because Marlin, like, I wish more printers were shipping with Marlin. I wish more printers were shipping with RepRap firmware. I'm a little squick about all these printers shipping with Klipper because nobody is really doing Klipper right on these commercial machines, in my opinion. The only ones that I know doing Klipper right, Pantheon, Poly, and Prusa. I believe the HT90 runs Klipper because they're pretty much just running stock. Like, just run stock Klipper. These randomly forked versions of Klipper that are all now forked, and you have to rely on the company to do updates for, and you have to jailbreak them so you can get all the functions back that they took out and put behind walls, or they removed, like it, and they're running them on really low powered SoCs, so you may have issues down the line if there's updates to Klipper that require more power. Like, I'm not liking the way these companies are implementing Klipper on these machines. They're not doing it horribly, at least most of them aren't. It's just like, guys, just put normal Klipper. You're not really making it better. Yeah, the forked versions are all forked up. Yep. They never did Marlin. Yes, but the thing with Marlin, you don't have an internet connected Linux computer on your home network with Marlin, or even RepRap. Like, honestly, I wish RepRap firmware was more prevalent. I kind of want to build a RepRap firmware printer because my first Voron outside of a V1 running Marlin, my original V2 ran Duet RepRap firmware for years before I switched it over to Klipper. Like, I had a Duet with a custom expander on it, so I can run 7 drivers. I can almost see it. Still have any of the Duet boards? Got one right here. Duet 2. This was out of a CNC. Yeah, still have a Duet 2. The Duet 2 is actually a really nice board. I'm tempted to actually use it in a project. The Duet 2 is actually a really nice board. The only downside with it is it does have the older TMC drivers, so they're not as quiet, but they are like, they are a very it's very usable. A Duet 2 is still very usable hardware. Especially if you can like find one cheap and just throw it on an existing printer. Can't see the print yet. To be fair, it's pretty easy to disable internet communication. The problem is you shouldn't have to. Like, that's the thing. You shouldn't have to be diving into kernels of Linux. Like, that's not something your average user is going to deal with. I mean, hell, look at the Bamboo subreddit. It's full of people that just don't even care what's going on with their firmware. It's like, it doesn't affect me. I don't care. It's like, okay, cool. Have fun when they add a $9.99 a month tier to watch your printer over the internet. Like, most people just don't care. The biggest problem we face is the majority of users just don't give a crap. so many problems we have in every community is when there's a problem or an issue, unless it actually affects everyone, you're going to have a group of people that will just be like, this doesn't affect me. I don't know why you're making a big deal out of this. Quit bitching. Like, it's amazing how many bad things happen because a very large people don't care. Look at it go. Look at those bubbles. Can you add food coloring to resin to dye it? Does it work? Well, I mean, the camera, this is like the only spot you can really put the camera. And actually, this is like where you would want to put the camera, because this is like as close as you can get to being able to watch your first layer. Because obviously the camera can't see through the vat or the opaque resin. So like, this is a pretty decent spot to have the camera. Only resin coloring, water-based? Okay. Resin dyes are cheap? Okay. I was just wondering. It turns out our production department bought some bamboo printers and are now trying to get them onto our corporate network. Quite annoying. Yeah, oh yeah. Speak to any IT department. Hey, can we connect these computers that we're going to be using to send files from our company computers of in development things to these printers that are connected to the cloud? A lot of companies don't like that. There's a reason, again, Prue says you can remove the Wi-Fi chip. It doesn't cost them that much more difference versus soldering on the Wi-Fi chip. And by having the Wi-Fi chip removable, guarantees them sales in certain markets. And technically allows them to do upgrades down the line. Because imagine, like, you know, Wi-Fi standards change over time. So, hey, it'd be nice in like 3-4 years if you want to upgrade to a new type of Wi-Fi. Not so much speed, but imagine that, like, you know, Wi-Fi 10 comes out, it's got a kilometer range. Who knows? Who knows? We don't know. Be nice, you know, in a couple of years when there's like a new Wi-Fi standard. Oh, just upgrade your Wi-Fi chip. 20 bucks. Done. Like, think about it. Having the ability to just swap out the Wi-Fi chip. It's not a huge deal for some, but for others, it's a guaranteed sale and it's future-proofing. Hook Starlink right up to it. Just you? What do you mean just you, Evo? Oh shoot, I have chat. Top chat. Let me turn live chat. There we go. I have less Wi-Fi. I believe they did upgrade the chips on the Mark IV S, I believe, if I'm not 100% sure. I'll be honest, this one's a stock Mark IV. I've never had Wi-Fi issues with it, so. But then again, the router's there and the printer's there. It's literally like 10 feet apart from the router to the printer, so. Your UPS is not happy? It's because you're probably overdrawing it. I have a UPS that is not happy when it's connected to one of my larger Vorons. It kind of freaks out because the amp draw when it's heating up the bed is a little too much. I'm giving Bamboo a month to reverse their decision. They've gone pretty quiet, but also, to be fair, it's Chinese New Year. Like, they dropped this on everyone and then pieced out for holidays. Bad timing to push it to test and release or whatever it is in software, you know, before vacation. We got 40 minutes left and we're at 62%. We might finish this in time. It's not going away. No, it's not. It's not. They are, I'm pretty certain they're set in what they're going to do. It's just their way of communicating it and their way of addressing concerns, valid concerns brought to by the community, if you read their wording, it's speaking from like a point of arrogance. They're like, oh, we're clearing up incorrect information. No, it's like, no, we're bringing legit concerns, and you guys are just kind of like trying to faff it off and use wording. You're not acknowledging any of the concerns. You're just straight up deflecting. It's like, come on. Hey guys, imagine if they had come out and gone, yeah, you know what? Our bad. This is why we were doing it. Obviously, it's not going over well. We're going to reverse some of these decisions. Other decisions will take place on future machines, but they'll be known before you get into the ecosystem that these are the things that will take place. Blah, blah, blah. They could have handled this so much better. And guess what? Everyone would have put out a video going, yeah, look at Bamboo. Good job, Bamboo. You listen to the community for once and da-da-da. But nope. Nope. Accessibility features. You can manually level the bed. Wow. Firmware upgrade. Then Panda and the Panda Touch. This should be. They really don't want people in their ecosystem. I mean, it's technically in their terms of service. This came up. Somebody sent me this on a Discord, and I thought it was like new. But apparently, like, so I'm like, hey guys, what the hell's going on here? And then it turns out like it's not new. They've had this in their terms of service the whole time. But it's basically, you will not use Bamboo Lab technology or Bamboo Lab intellectual property to develop software or design, develop, manufacture, sell or license third-party devices, accessories associated with Bamboo Lab products without Bamboo's prior consent. I am not a lawyer, but that screams like you are not allowed to even sell like 3D printed ducks for it without their approval. I know there's companies that sell ducks. I know there's companies that sell add-ons for the printer. Picture Tech is one of them. But I mean, doesn't this also, because it's software or design, develop, or license third-party devices, accessories, wouldn't this even cover like 3D printed ducks on Maker World or any sort of 3D printed accessory for the printer? Like, doesn't this cover a lot of shit? Like, I'm not a lawyer, but that seems pretty vague. Are they required to enforce it? But the thing is, if it's one of those things like, are they required to enforce it? No. But would you bother wasting your time developing for an ecosystem if at any moment the company can just completely lock you out? Like, I know going forward, anytime somebody asks me what I recommend for a 3D printer, I'm not going to recommend a Bamboo without like a massive amount of warnings. Because it was easy before. It's like, yeah, I don't like some of their business practices, but they make a good entry-level printer for the price. Now I'm not going to recommend it because I can't guarantee that the machine I recommend today will behave the same way in a year. Plus, the way they're treating the community knocks them down a peg. Their Trustpilot score is like 1.7. They are almost as low rated as Creality on Trustpilot right now. And for the record, Bamboo has, or Prusa has like 10 times as many responses and sits at a 4.6 or something. So it's not hard to not be a dick to your community. It's surprisingly easy. You listen to feedback, you drop an occasional "my bad" when you spoof, and you put out products that don't take advantage of people. It's not hard. It's not hard to not be a dick to your community and to build good faith. But it's very easy to lose. Can I see the print yet? No, not yet. Also, remember, Currently, the way Bambu operates in their entire ecosystem, the moment they sell the printer, they're not making money off the printer. Remember that. The moment the printer is sold, you walk into what's it called in the States there, Micro Center, or you go online and you buy the printer. The moment that you buy the printer, it's out of their hands. They're not making any money off of it after it's sold. They've made their money. So why do they care what accessories you put on the printer or how you use it after you buy it? That's my big red flag. What do they care what you're doing? Because it's very easy to put like Prusa does it. You mod the firmware on the Mark IV, they're not going to cover any firmware issues. It's simple as that. If you modify something on the printer, any damages that result from your modding or changing aren't covered. Simple as that. Like you can do that. It's easy. A lot of companies do. It's very common in the industry to do that kind of thing. So why does Bambu care what accessories and mods and changes you make to the printer after you buy it? Why do they care? Why do they care? That's what gives me all these red flags. That's the thing that concerns me. Why do they care what you do with the printer after you buy it? They realize it's going to hurt sales. I'm pretty sure it has, because here's the thing. If it just blows up on, like, you know, YouTube, or correction, 3D printing Twitter or the subreddit, it's not a big deal. The deal is pretty much every single content creator that does 3D printing, and even people who don't do 3D printing, Louis Rossman, Jeff Geerling, have done videos on this, basically going, yeah, no dog, this ain't right, calling them out. So right now, if you search up Bambu, like, let me fire up here, new private window. So we're in incognito mode. Okay, let's see here. So I'm in incognito mode, okay? Bambu 3D printer. So what comes up when I search Bambu 3D printer? So we get a 10-month-old review, a year-old review. So these are all old reviews, but then you get, I probably won't buy another 3D printer, right? Because these are all like, okay. So like these are all old. So let's see what happens if I search Bambu, filter, upload date. Can you search by the last month? Yeah, so relevance. So what's popular in the last month for Bambu? Because again, this is in a bubble, right? I don't know how this search would appear based on your view history, right? Because this is an incognito about. So if you search what's coming up from Bambu in the last month, you have a sponsored Bambu video. Don't buy a Bambu. Other printers just as good as Bambu. Why is Bambu dominated? And then he immediately put out a video right after calling it out. Security update. Tried the coolest upgrade, like rant. Here it is. There's that. Here's another one addressing it. I'm not happy. Like, no longer recommending Bambu printers. I tried printing a business in 7 days. Wow, this sounds like an ad. Disclaimer, this inclusion of... Yeah, this is an ad. Just Bambu destroyed its future. Like, why I dish Bambu. Like, that's the thing. It's kind of telling when you look. A year ago, everyone loves them. And then in the past month, a good chunk of the videos are like, nah, dog, nah. Like... It's not good. And the thing is, they did this to themselves and they could have not had to deal with this at all. All they had to do was just reverse some of their decisions. Hey guys, yep, this is what it is, but we've realized your feedback, so we're not going to implement any of these changes going forward with our current offering of printers. We cannot guarantee what future printers will have, but you will know going into purchasing these printers what conditions they will have on their purchase, what use cases will be allowed and not allowed with their purchases. And for the meantime, we will keep things as they are with the current printers. And we will roll up the security updates without the forced ecosystem lockdown. See how easy that is? See how easy that is? That would have put out all the fires. Yeah, they probably would have got some criticism for people going, well, I guess I'm not buying any future printers because, you know, lockdown ecosystem, if that concerns you. But no, they just went right in with, you know, attacking people who tried to call them out for bad business practices. Didn't they reverse something a year ago? The moment, I'm pretty sure that was the X1 Plus team, when the X1 Plus team started snooping around and figured out how to get X1 Plus installed on the X1. They like tried to change bootloaders and whatnot with a firmware update that would have prevented future ability for people to install custom firmware, or technically it's not firmware, but custom software on the SoC on the X1. And then at the last minute, they changed that because of community. But yeah, it's the company has a pattern that the moment something that they don't like people doing with their printer, somebody does it, they like freak out and try to lock everything down. Yeah, the Verge article, it's kind of telling that they go to a media instead of a blog post update. They didn't put a blog post update out, a community post on the Discord. They went right to the Verge. Kind of telling. Oh, I think I can finally see it. I can't see. I can't see. Is that it there? I can't see. I can kind of see something. I can't see in there with the reflection. Light on. Yeah, it's there. I can see it. You can see its reflection. Watch. You can see the shadow. You can see the shadow. It's there. Yeah, I mean, like, all they did was answer some preloaded questions. Like, it would have been very easy for Bamboo to not have any of this happen. But now they have, like, how many Louis Rossman videos on it and Jeff Geerling's video? Like, those videos alone are 1 million views. So that's the thing. If it was just something that, like, happened on the Discord or whatever, it would have been quiet. But the fact that there's now videos about it, and like content creators know about it, and if somebody asks directly, like if somebody asks me on a stream, I'll tell you, they've kind of polluted the ecosystem with this now. Like, this is now a known thing with them, so they can't. Yeah, I'm sure there'll still be people who'll just walk into Micro Center and go, I want to buy a 3D printer, this is on sale, I'll buy it, I heard good things. But the moment somebody starts doing research now, this will probably come up. Bamboo Labs doesn't want a community, they want a market share. Potato, tomato. Yeah, we do not in any way store your files. And then the very next question, we store your files so the user can reprint. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, honestly, the sketchiest thing they're doing is the Maker World stuff. The fact that they're still allowing copywritten models and license violating models to be uploaded to their website for payment, because anytime you upload anything to modern, you know, 3D printing websites, you get points and shit that you convert for stuff. And like, they're not honoring takedown requests and whatnot. That's what I don't like. That is the part that really gets me angry, because it's screwing over actual people who the designing stuff is their livelihood. I'm just over it. I'll keep using it. Yeah, that's what I tell people. I'm like, if you already own a Bamboo printer, the damage is done. It's like when people freaked out over Bud Light and started shooting up cans and blowing them up. It's like, you already bought the beer. Like, this does nothing. This is just virtue signaling for internet points. Who cares? So if you already own a Bamboo, don't go burn it. Don't go like throw it in the garbage. Sell it if you want, get your money, but don't like go do something stupid with it. Just put it in offline mode. It'll just keep working as it works now. It's just offline. Like, they're already mature machines that have had all the firmware updates they need to work good. So use as you got. They already got your money out of it. So there's no, if you're like, I seen somebody's like, you should go blow yours up. Go make a YouTube. No, why would I virtue signal? Like, it's just wanking virtue signaling. It doesn't solve anything. Me taking a grinder to my printer. It doesn't. Plus, I need to save for something down the line when Big Tree Tech comes out with a conversion board to put Clipper on them. I need a platform for that. I mean, it won't be hard for them to make a replacement board. All they need to do is just take an existing board and just change it so that it can mount in the same spot as that controller does. And they just need to change the connectors. Like, at the end of the day, remember, I've been saying this for a while, Bamboo printers hardware-wise are nothing special at all. They are enclosed Core XYs using NEMA 17s, GT2 belts, standard heaters, standard sensors, standard hardware. There is nothing on a Bamboo that is special hardware-wise. They don't have like some secret sauce design with some like flux capacitor in there or something. It's a freaking Trident. If any, actually it's more of a V1.8, but it's a Voron Trident or a rat rig. It's an enclosed Core XY. That's it. The big thing they have going for them is they have decent quality control, they have really good pricing, and they have a very, very good curated ecosystem with good off-the-shelf slicers and profiles. But guess what? Those three things anyone can do. Anyone can do it. Creality is getting there. The K1s had issues, but the K2s, from my understanding, are pretty good. How are the K3s going to be? How are the K4s going to be? And Bamboo still hasn't released their new flagship, which has been delayed how many times? Like, BCC said they have no interest in developing software to support the LiDAR. The LiDAR, it's just LiDAR. They don't need software to support it because you don't need it. I've turned my LiDAR off like pretty much right away with my Bamboo X1. It was a waste of time. It doesn't really do anything. As long as you feed it good quality filament, the LiDAR doesn't do anything. Because all it does is it calibrates your flow. Well, if you use good filament, it's going to be good. The LiDAR is really only useful if you feed it shit filament that's all out of spec. So as long as you feed it good filament, like you can buy from POLYMAKER with the link in the video description, you'll have a good time. None of the other printers need it. Only the X1 has the LiDAR. They didn't bother putting in any of the other machines. So it's obviously not that critical. Look at the Resin go. Are you guys having fun? Put a 1 in chat if you are so excited for the Resin that you put a 1 in chat. Look at it go. Look at it go. What are we at? We are at 79%. Look how excited everyone is for the Resin. 0.5. It is overwhelmingly exciting. I am starving. Diets suck. Printers live in high humidity. My garage isn't too bad in the summer, or correction, in the winter. In the summer though, it is not fun out here. The LiDAR on the X1 leaves much to be desired. Because it's not LiDAR. All it does is you print a line of filament and then it shines a laser line on it, and then a camera looks at the laser and it looks at the squiggly line because the laser is now, the straight line laser goes over filament. So it basically, it's doing pattern. It's looking at the pattern. LiDAR is light imaging, distance, and range. Light goes out and you measure the response time of it bouncing back. It's like radar. Radar uses radio waves. LiDAR uses light waves. The thing is, LiDAR at that kind of module for the cost would not be accurate enough. Like, who here could tell me how accurate the LiDAR module on the iPhone is? What is the precision of the LiDAR module on the iPhone? Because I guarantee you the LiDAR module on the iPhone costs a lot more than they're willing to pay to put it in there. And guess what? It's not accurate enough to do a first layer. Light, distance, and ranging. Yep. So yeah, it's not LiDAR. It is laser imaging calibration. It does do stuff, but it doesn't do anything super critical. And it's not accurate enough. So it's not real LiDAR. So don't call it LiDAR. Call it what it is. It's laser imaging calibration. It uses a laser. It uses a camera to look at the laser and the pattern the laser makes, because it's on mushy filament. And then it goes, oh, the line's very squiggly. Adjust value. Oh, the line's better. We're good. Like, was it 2 years ago or 3 years ago? Somebody had a demonstration of doing it on a clipper machine, where they just had a web camera looking at a laser and it did the exact same thing. It's not LiDAR. It is an auto calibration tool. I don't believe it's worth it, but it is an auto calibration tool. And it does work, it's not LiDAR. And the better your filament, the less it does. So as long as you feed your printer good filament, it doesn't really do anything. Yeah, iPhone LiDAR, and think about it. That's a very good LiDAR module. Look how much, go online and look up how much a LiDAR module costs and their accuracy. There is no LiDAR in a printer. Creality's LiDAR scanner. And how big is that scanner? You're not putting that in a printer tool head. Like the handheld scanner, imagine strapping that to your printer tool head. Because they're that accurate too, because of the distancing, right? You got to have reference points. So you need the distancing. You can't make a single emitter that accurate, that small. It doesn't work. It does not obey modern technology. Look at it go. We're almost done. We're almost done. We're at 84%. Gonna start printing Grimdank minis. Oh yeah, get the Games Workshop lawyers all on my ass. Okay, we're almost done. So let's find something to print. What should I print? I think some people link some stuff in the Discord for me to print. AI Henry Cavill Warhammer armor. No, thank you. What should I print? What should I print? The Fifth Element stones. Well, that's kind of a waste on FDM. Silver Glory Angel. That's cool. Yeah, that works. Sculptures. Downloads. So what has been popular in the past 180 days? Hey, he's just a chill dude. Just a chill guy. My name is Jeff. I don't play Marvel Rivals at all. Let's see. No, there's nothing. One of the sites, I think it might be Cults, has a bunch of Armored Core stuff. What else did people send me? Let's see. Downloads. Let's see here. Oh, these are all really cool. Oh, that's right. You gotta log in. I hate sites that you have to log in. It's so annoying logging in to download files. It's like, Can you do articulate prints? You technically can. Like, as far as I'm aware, you can. I've never actually tried, but I believe you can. Models. What do we got from Photos? What do we got from Photos? These are all busts. I'm not a huge fan of busts. Xenomorph. So this is the problem. Like, I don't really do a lot of resin printing, so it's like, what do I want to print? You know what? We'll just download that angel model that somebody sent me. What's that angel model? Where did that angel model go? Let's do that. That looks cool. Whatever. Download that. Okay. Open. Downloads. Oh, that's a bit big. Scale down for printing? Yes. I mean, that'll be a good model to test the printer. Okay, let's scale. No, that's move. How do I scale? Let's do 30. 30%. There we go. Okay. So that's that. Mirror. Okay, so that is that. Is there like slice settings? Okay. 0.5 layer height, bottom layer is 5, exposure timed. I'm just gonna use the stock settings, I guess. Slice. Back. Oh, I know to lean it back. I just want to see how it spits out. Yeah, so it just does it hollow. It doesn't. So let's. How do I go back? Okay. So we obviously are going to have to hollow it. Wall thickness. I'll go with that. Start. I know I got to generate supports. I know that. I'm aware. I am aware. 1.2 is a bit thin. Okay, we'll do 2. 2. Start. Trust the Chi2 magic wand. I know that holes. I know. Okay, so let's pivot this onto its back. Okay. So that is dig a hole. Got all these holes. Okay. Sealing the inner cavity can lead to internal fluid. Okay, I know that. So we got to make a bunch of holes. Oh, I see. It's marking. Oh, that's cool. It's marking holes, like internal cavities that need holes. Oh, that's cool. Where'd you go? Where's my holes? So I got those holes, so that'll drain that. Where'd my little preview go? Where'd my little preview go? Where'd my preview go? Where'd my little... Is it happy now? Like, I want to put some more in. Because you don't want... Oh, there's one. There's a cavity. It really doesn't want to. Come on. Dig the hole. Come on. There we go. There we go. Good enough. That good? That's good. Whatever. Well, they're isolated cavities, so they need holes anyways. Okay, so that's that. Where's support at? Repair, hollow, auto layout. Where is support? Oh, right here. Middle. Auto support. Go, go, gadget. Auto supports. Move my bench. There we go. Cool. There we go. Okay. Cool. Slice. Camera just went a little funky. You would think this is a modern computer would actually print pretty good, but okay. What is island detection? Why is it taking so long to save? No, it added holes. It added holes. Just not all of them. It has holes. It has holes. Look. It added the holes. They're in there. Yeah, you can see the holes. It added holes. We got holes. There are holes. There are holes. Any in the head? There are holes in the head. Because the head is connected to the body and it drains all through the back. There are holes. There are holes. We're good. Do island detection? It's not loading fine. Are we good? Are we good? Turn that. Detected an island. Oh, wow. How did you... Yeah, but you're supported. Where's the islands at? Like... Yeah, that's not an island. How are you saying that's an island? Like, these aren't islands. How are these islands? How are those islands? Those aren't islands. What? Like, these aren't islands. What does that even mean? Like, I know it means like something printing in air essentially, but this model doesn't have any of that. Like, it's an FDM model. I mean, everything looks supported. I don't see any floaty stuff. Detected an archipelago. I don't know. It could be single pixels. Yeah, I'm not going to care. Honestly, I'm not going to care. I'm just going to send it as is, and whatever we get is what we get. But I'm going to have to put some gloves on and fish this printout because we're at 99%. So the plan is we will get this going, get this out, and then we will get it cleaned up and resin curing. While we're doing that, we'll do the giveaway. And then when I get the machine back in action, we'll get the next print going, see how it starts, and go from there. Okay, so we're done. Wow, it's a resin print. Neat. Ooh, it's warm. It's actually warm. Can I kind of want to just grab it. I don't want to take the bed off. I'm kind of lazy, and I just kind of want to pull the print off instead of like dealing with the whole bed. This doesn't even slide out all the way. Whatever. Okay. Aren't you supposed to calibrate your exposure? Well, it's Elegoo filament or Elegoo resin and whatnot, so I'm just leaving the default values, and we're just sending it with default. Put the spatula. It's very bubbly. There we go. Okay, that looks fine. Put that back on. Lock. Close. Voila. Okay, I go throw it in the tub. try not to get resin all over the cleaning station right away. Don't drop the lid. Drop the lid. Okay, grab you, little guy. Go in your little iso bath. That. And how long should I go? 3 minutes. Go. Ooh, it's making noise. Okay. So while that does that, network sending. Send. Time printing done. Confirm. Okay, so it's sending a file to the printer. So we'll let that do its thing, and then I'll get it curing. While it's curing, we'll do the giveaway. So if you haven't entered yet, don't forget, link in the video description. Enter for your chance to win some POLYMAKER filament. While you're down there, if you want to help support the channel, the content I create, and the things I do, consider becoming a channel member, Patreon supporter, or hey, just like the smash button, subscribe if you're not subscribed. But if you're really cool, gift memberships to others. That way other people get to hang out when we do cool, fun stuff on the stream, on the member stream, which will be Thursday. So the plan is tomorrow will be a Twitch stream. Thursday we'll do a member stream, and then Friday will be a regular stream. If I do a regular stream Friday. I don't know if I'm going to stream Friday because I might be working on a video. Depending on if some stuff shows up, we'll see. So, waiting on a file to transfer right now. Oop, it's going the other way now. It's going the other way now. You can hear it going. Can you hear that? I got noise canceling on, so you might not be able to hear the cleaner doing cleaner things. Hopefully this printer drives down the price of the frozen Sonic Mighty Revo. Maybe. I'll be honest, I'm not too well versed in the whole resin ecosystem. You can hear the cleaner. Yeah, if you're hearing a high-pitched noise, it's the cleaner. The resin cleaner doing its thing. Okay, waiting. Waiting for what? File transferring. Oh, okay, now it's transferring the file. It took that long to save the file, and now it's transferring it. And this is, by the way, this is probably the most optimal conditions you'll ever see for a file transferring over Wi-Fi, because this printer is literally 5 feet away from a wireless router. So, okay, so while it does that, let me go change out the, oh yeah, do a video with the same thumbnail. I don't think I'll do a review video on it. What I may do is do a project involving it. I don't like doing review videos because I find them extremely subjective. Because at the end of the day, does it deliver on the promises? Yes, no, that's the review. But what I might do is just do like a, use this as a project and talk about it in the video. I've done that in the past with a resin printer, and I kind of like that form, that way of doing it. Okay. So that comes out. I do like the fact that you can put the lid on this without having to take it out. So the problem is, or the thing you got to do now, for those that don't know, you got to let it dry. You kind of don't want it to put it in the resin, or you don't want to put it in the curing station wet. So I'm just going to put it right here in front of my little heater. Get all the ISO off. And you could sit right here in front of the heater and get nice and warm and dry while we do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. Is it printing? Oh, it transferred. Okay, so if it transferred, mobile, let's see here. Print, local file, Silver Angel, print. High speed, okay. So we're in high speed mode. It's homing up to the top first. Okay, let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway. It kind of sucks that you have to have the slicer installed to monitor the print. That part is kind of annoying because now it's like, well, now I have to install a slicer on my computer upstairs so that I can monitor the prints remotely. Like you can't, I like the way Clipper is with the, you just need a web UI, simple as that. But I kind of get it. Like, I don't know how hard it would be to generate a web UI, or at least it'd be nice if you could just at least pull the just pull the webcam feed on an IP address. Marbles. Yeah, the UI seems pretty good. The only downside, I think, the only critique I have with the UI is it's small. You might want to get like one of those little pens, like a touchscreen pen, and use that. Okay, let's see here. Do erase. Clear. What do we got here? We got 337. Let's go with Slippery Slopes. Play. I don't know, it's a touchscreen. I don't know if it's resistive touch or what, but it's a touchscreen. Okay, so how this works, if you win, you get a free spool of filament from POLYMAKER, but if I pick your ball and you win, you also get a free hat. So, good luck to this person right here. Julius Caroson? Julius Caroson. If you win, you also get a free hat with your spool of filament from POLYMAKER. Remember, exclamation mark zoom zoom makes your ball go faster. Exclamation mark gullible makes everyone else go slower. And if you like the smash button, ring the bell and are subscribed to the channel, it greases your ball up and makes it go even faster. But it's Jose's game to lose now. So let's everyone put all the pressure on Jose here. It's all up to Jose now. It's his game to lose. It's your game to lose, Jose. Oh, the Reverend. Reverend in the lead. Oh, Reverend go down the hole. Oh, you got stuck on a rock, though. Oops. Oh, wow, you're stuck. Okay, who's in the lead? Cool Dr. J. Went to go take a drink and almost grab the bottle of resin. That would have been bad. Oh, I got a feeling you can overdo it here. Oh, now you gotta go the other way. This is a long one. I didn't expect it to be a long one. It looked like a short one. Actually, while that's doing this, let me go set up the... How long are you supposed to do? 3 minutes? 3 minutes should be enough. Okay. Into the resin curing station you go. Into the resin curing station you go. Start. Nope. What? The lid's on. Oh, you are... Oh, what's going... There you go. Now you're going. Was it closed all the way? Uh-oh. Did somebody win yet? No. Okay. Oh, wow, this is long. Okay, it's, for those wondering, it's curing. You can see it curing. It's curing. This is a long map. Why did I pick a long one? Oh, wow, everyone's dying now. Go, Padog. You got this, Padog. It's all on you, Padog. It's all on you. It's all on you. You got this. No, you don't. You went the wrong way. Okay, who's gonna make it? Sir Edward. Oh, Joseph. Joseph S. Joseph S. with the win. Is it spinning? It is spinning. Good. Joseph S. with the win. Congratulations, Joseph S. You have won yourself a spool of filament from POLYMAKER. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from POLYMAKER. S. Joseph. There you are. Cool. So yeah, so you'll get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament. How's this coming along? What's that noise? Oh, no, it's doing its thing. It's printing! Yay! How long is this print gonna take? Where is... It's gonna take 6 hours. Okay, it's 2,700 layers. Jeez. Well, whatever we get is what we get. Okay, so congratulations, Joseph. You will get an email from me after the stream ends with information on how to collect your filament from POLYMAKER. I set it to cure for 3 minutes, so we're just waiting for the cure to finish. You can see the reflection there. So it's 1 minute left on the cure, and then we'll grab it, we'll take a look at it, and then we'll call it. So while that's doing that, let me just fire off a quick email here to our winner. Oop, nope, I clicked the wrong button. Ah! I have like a folder right here that has like all the links for the giveaway, but whenever I do a giveaway, I also bookmark the giveaway. So if I need to like pull up a previous one quickly, I can just pull up the link. And every now and then I right click it, which opens all of them. And it's like, ah! So obviously I won't be able to do much work out here tonight because this is going to be printing for the next couple hours, and then I got to move it downstairs, but that's okay. That's okay. Do I have enough resin in the vat? I should, hopefully. I don't see why I wouldn't. I got 1 liter of resin in there. We should be good. 1 liter of resin minus the little bit I used on the previous print. So, shouldn't be too bad. Oh, that's done curing. Okay, so now... There's that. Send. Okay, Joseph, you should have got your email for winning the POLYMAKER filament. So let's see what we got here. Let's see what we got here. So. See, the problem with the wash and cure station is you can't really take the lid off and put it somewhere. Ooh, that is really clean. Look at the quality. Look at that quality. 1 second. There you go. That is a clean resin print. Like, a little sticky on the bottom. You can see some bubbles, but it's the bottom. Who cares? I think they have like a little helix in there, yeah, down the middle. That came out really clean. Yeah, you can see the little helix in the middle there. So that's the advantage with resin, is resin, you can just print crazy high detail stuff like this, and that's just how it is. Like, it's like you can pretty much take stuff out of resin and go right to paint. You don't have to like post-process it as much. You just gotta like cut off supports, fill in any zits from the supports being cut off, and cure it, and off you go. So like if you're doing projects like cosplay or whatever, it's like, yeah, you can print it all in FDM, all the big stuff, but what you can do is you can pair it with a resin printer and use resin to do all like the little finicky little detail stuff that would be a nightmare to try and either print it on FDM because it would be super weak, or trying to smooth it all out and make it look good would be a nightmare because it's like, get all hand crampy. Or you can just print it on a resin print, take it off the machine, go right to painting. So, bit of blooming on the base. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I could see it. Like, I don't know how this works with its auto Z offset, but like most of the time you're not printing on the base. You're printing it on like a 45 or whatever, right? So it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna call it there. I'm starving. This print's gonna take like 6 hours anyways. So we'll call it there. Hope you enjoyed the stream today. Again, shout out to Elegoo for sending this printer over for testing and evaluation. Probably won't do another stream with it dedicated, but we may be using it in the future for some projects, and there may be a video on it in the future as well. If you do want to get one of these, I don't have an affiliate link for it. I just have a regular link for it in the video description. Check it out. Also, while you're down there, check out POLYMAKER. Thank you for them for the spool of filament we give away this stream and every stream. Links for all of them and more in the video description. Affiliate links don't cost anything extra. Go a long way in supporting the channel. Also, buy some gamer subs. Use code Canuck. Save 10% off your order with that as well. And for those that donate to the channel, give the memberships to others, or become members of the channel yourself, I thank you. Would not be able to do the things I do, create the content I create, without your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your week. Be safe out there. Wash your hands, and I'll see you tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday, depending on what kind of content you like and if you're a channel member or not.